everybody. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Shadowrun Up in Smoke, our Shadowrun 6th edition game set in London 2081. We started 2080, but, time has passed. And so I'll continue updating that year as we go. Before we've taken a bit of a break, because I needed to take a break from humans overall. Not these lovely people who I kind of enjoy hurting narratively. And I think I'm responsible for a few of them day drinking. But I needed to take a quick break. That also means episodes that are supposed to be on YouTube are not there yet. I'm going to be picking that up again soon. Again, took a couple of weeks off. Before we jump into things, to just quickly go around the room, so to speak, and we're going to tell you who they are and who they are playing. I'll pick one of you, and then you can pick who goes next. Pete.
Hello, I am Pete, and I am playing Grifter, the street samurai, shooty, action-packed beast of a character. Yes, there we go. That's pretty good, right? Yeah, Kim, you can go next.
Thanks.
It's all right.
So I'm Kim. I play KTP, who is our team's technomancer. Still coughing slightly, but I'll try and keep it to a minimum, not to annoy everyone. And I will hand over to Jai.
Now you has to unmute Zoom first. Hello, I'm back again for the first time in, I don't know how long it's been, over a month now? Oh, God.
It's been quiet. No police stations have blown up.
Well, that's how you know I haven't been around. But yeah, I've been out of sorts for a while, but between world events and everything else keeping me away, I'm back. And I couldn't be happier because I love this crew. So, yes, hi, I'm Dan. I play Sphere. A monumental start to today. I play Sphere. They use they them pronouns, obviously, and are a trigger with fewer drones than previously because of an attempt to streamline the process. And, well, I mean, that leaves one person. So
I'm Kat, or a cleric of court, and I play Nico, the street shaman who has lost her entire family and refound a new family, including sisters. She was adopted. It was wonderful. She cried. I cried. It's always a lot. It's always a lot. But Nico's still an emotional wreck, and we all know that the best description for Grifter is himbo.
Or gumbo.
No, he's a himbo.
I disagree with that, but we can take that up behind the scenes.
So last time we played, to give a bit of a, it's been a while, so give a bit of a broad summary. The party had concluded their piece of work that they were doing for the information broker known as Jackal, and delivered the goods and got the piece of information on Trent Rockwell, Malcolm's original identity, and they then gave to Lawrence to basically find out perhaps why their benefactor Malcolm was essentially letting himself die, with Lawrence being very keen on saving him. The party had decided to delete the file after they had sent it to Malcolm, not wanting to pry. That didn't last long. They eventually pried. But before that, Nico had a conversation with her guardian spirit, the Firebringer, whose drive is to fulfill requests that are given. If someone asks you sincerely for help, you must help. And he spoke to her about that is specific thing about sincerity in requests, that not every request is sincere, and it's hard to identify. If you can figure out that the request you're getting is not sincere, you are not. You maybe should think not to fulfill it. Thinking back to interactions with Lawrence, Nico identified things in his voice that sounded a bit arrogant, that made her think that perhaps he wasn't solely motivated to save Malcolm because, he desired to help, but also for a sense of pride of, I am the only one who can help. It has to be me. It's only ever me. And after getting a message from Lawrence requesting another aid to steal a bit of property of technology from the Shiawase Corporation, the message was rather curt. It wasn't exactly, please, can you help, or call them or met them. Just simply said, I need you to steal this. So that gave the team pause, and they contacted Malcolm, which resulted in Lawrence getting fired and him being removed from Malcolm's proximity, and some conversations that happened between Malcolm and the team. Along the way, they kind of discovered Malcolm's whole deal and, why he's doing what he's doing. And he left them one last task, one last favor for him, the one last thing he wants to accomplish before he goes, and perhaps balance his scales a little bit more. Aside from that, Grifter made some calls for some gear, and Nico got adopted by Kai's sisters, and they might be teaching her how to enchant things, and the cost of it she can pay. They will give her the amount, but they also gave her the option of working a gig for them as a Shadowrunner. And that kind of brings us to where we were. We kind of pick up, I would say a day later, a few days later. I would say a day after the conversation with Malcolm. Things are still a bit fresh, particularly regarding, Lawrence and everything. He has not been in touch. Guessing you can guess, kind of probably still reeling from everything that's happened. But I leave you all to discuss, or if you wish to have a scene. If you wish to have a scene between all of you and discuss things, let me know. If not, we can move some things along.
I don't think Grifter needs to do anything in particular.
In that case, Grifter, the next morning you get a call.
Oh boy.
It is your contact, and now I need you to make that roll for me of influence and charisma, adding the loyalty of this contact to the roll.
Which was...
We all know how
famous
good...
3.
3, wonderful. So Grifter got in touch with, better not tell you, plausible deniability and all that, but managed to get what you need. I mean, at least a line on it. We can get you, that mounted arm that you can move around. Essentially, your little turret that you want to set up. It's not cheap.
Go on, how much is it going to cost?
That's where I've managed to negotiate something for you. The thing is going to come up to 60K.
Okay.
It's top of the line, military grade, has versatile mounting for any kind of weapon that you want. You can put anything from a knife or, a little purse pistol to like a minigun or a cannon, whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
and has some options there for basically a decker or anyone that that works with that kind of stuff. Even the rigger can connect to it and offer some protection against hacking and that sort of thing. It's Wi-Fi enabled, so you can set it. You can set it. You can control even like the weapons Wi-Fi settings through it. So it's hardcore shit. That's very expensive, but there is an option for a gig that would cover it, plus anything else you make in the gig.
Is this like a one-man gig, or are we talking?
I mean, if you want to do one man, that's fine by me. I don't care. I'm just the middleman in this. Well, I mean, like tertiary. I'll put you in contact with the actual, intermediary, so to speak. What was it you should runners call it, Mr. Johnson? That person will take care of taking you. Essentially, it's a protection gig. It's a bodyguards thing.
Okay. How long does that offer stand for?
A couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. All right. Just give me.
If you can get back to me with yes or no within the next 2-3 days, that will be optimum.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's about it. I just need to speak to my crew and see if they're into doing this with me or whether I'm going it alone.
Okay.
And then I'll let you know.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Talk to you later then.
Laters.
And he hangs up. Nico, okay. You get a message, and the cost of the classes plus materials and everything, it's basically the whole package, would come up to about $10,000 a month.
For how many months?
That's for 2 months of lessons.
So $20,000 total.
No, it's $10,000 for the 2 months. So it's basically
it's $10,000 for the 2 months.
Like $5,000 a month.
Okay. That's still. I mean, I don't know what we've got in the coffers because Nico doesn't pay attention to that.
I don't think you have much in the coffers.
Anymore. Yeah.
Because you've been doing a whole lot of pro bono jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not flush right now.
Okay.
I mean, you flushed your money.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And Nico spoke to everybody about the job. That basically is we need to go in and clean some ghosts out of a building. But again, crew doesn't get paid. But I learned to enchant things, which can come in handy. And she looks over at Grifter and go, I can make your pew pew do a lot more stuff.
Theoretically.
She's like, I can put spells onto bullets.
Spells on the bullets?
Yeah. But I have to learn how to do it first. And it's expensive. And if we do this job, then I don't have.
Oh, I'm so in.
I mean, magic bullets. Bullets.
And like we can draw like little faces on certain bullets, which have got certain spells on them and stuff. This could be epic.
Not quite that.
No, don't ruin this. Let us have this. Like I can already see Sphere and Grifter going like, all right, let's engrave.
Exactly, right?
Oh dear, I probably shouldn't have mentioned that. So anyways, but yeah, if we do this job, then I mean we don't get paid, but I get 2 months worth of lessons in enchanting, which in the long run helps.
It's funny you should mention about like jobs and doing jobs for stuff. Because I might have a little question to ask. In the interest of full disclosure, you understand, I've been asked to do a job for a piece of equipment I've been trying to get my hands on, which I think would improve the team's what's the word I'm looking for? Effectiveness. Unfortunately, it's a little bit out of my price range at the moment. But again, I've been asked if maybe we could do a little bit of protection work for, gratis. We might be able to get this piece of equipment. So maybe like, scratch your back, you do yours, then I do mine,
What do you mean protection work? What does that mean?
Well, I'm assuming someone's going to get rolled over and we've got to get in the way. It's normally what happens. But obviously, this group of total badasses that we are.
For how long? I mean, is this like something we're going to have to be like 24/7 for 3 weeks, or?
Oh
I
God,
didn't
I
ask
hope
so
not.
many questions about that, but obviously I would do. I didn't want to take it too far unless, people were interested.
I mean, you're
But
gonna
that's a
be,
yes
so-
from you, Sphere, right?
I mean, I'll help you out with that.
That was definitely a yes. I heard a yes.
Yeah. Well, yes, for me. Yeah. I mean, I'm not
Okay,
going to speak for
wait.
KTP or Sphere.
Who are we protecting, and what are we getting in return, and also how much effort is this going to be? Because I'm not putting myself in harm's way, at least not for the near future.
We wouldn't be in harm's way, I'm sure. It's probably nothing. I mean,
Grifter.
Yeah.
That's what we always say, and then we get fucked up.
Yeah. But we are still here.
Sphere just kind of looks down at themselves and the inability to move the lower half of their body, and looks back up and goes like, "Your point?"
I'll find out some more details and then I'll bring it back to the table.
Yeah, look. Again, jobs is jobs, income is income, equipment is equipment. We got shit to do. I want to have shit to do, but I want to make sure that. Yeah,
I understand.
I've taken a recent interest in physical safety of us overall.
I totally understand, which is why I haven't done what I would normally do and just say yes and then drop everyone in it.
You see, this is personal growth, and I appreciate that for you.
I do feel like I've grown.
I feel like it too. What, like 2 inches?
At least.
Yeah. Or is that just heels?
So, all that aside, when do we get to paint the bullets with the faces?
No, okay. The little drones I've got, the equipment for welding, soldering, like we can get intricate. I've got programs.
Oh,
We could do murals.
this could be some epic stuff.
Like, we could have personalized messages with sarcastic responses. It's amazing.
Okay.
Do you want a 50 cal? Do you want a
bullet job
50 cal
first,
bullet that
right?
says "Hasta la vista, baby"? Because I can make that. And the Sphere immediately gets to work writing a little bit of code to have a little bot inscribe a bullet with "Hasta la vista, baby."
Yeah. So, I mean, what is the time frame on this job for you?
Sometime within the next couple of days.
So this is more pressing than my. I mean, I've got 3 or 4 days.
You were kind of told there's no time frame.
Oh, there is.
It's
Okay.
when you get to it and you do it, the lessons will begin.
It's whenever we get to it, we can do it. But I mean, the sooner it gets done, the sooner it gets done. And I don't know that we really have anything going on right now.
Well, I mean, I'm quite happy to do your one, but if it's a relatively quick thing, right? Then, and in the meantime, I'll get back onto my contact.
I mean, all we have to do is
get
just
some more
clear a building.
information.
Yeah, we just have to clear a building of some ghosts.
Ghosts.
Yeah.
What? Well, like you can shoot them, ghosts, or
Ghosts. I mean, I have some experience with ghosts, but I don't know a whole lot about that yet. Because it happened off screen and the DM hasn't told me. I know that laugh. I'm just flipping you off because of that laugh. I mean, I've got some experience with ghosts, and yeah, I think you can kind of some ghosts you can shoot, sort of, but yeah, you can shoot them. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, who are you going to call?
Haha.
Luigi.
Not falling for it. Almost.
And she's just giving you that shit-eating grin that Nico has.
Okay. Ghost hunting.
I want to say, like, in
No,
the
not
background.
hunting, killing.
I want to see Grifter with a green hat and a vacuum.
Yeah, we're not hunting, we're killing. That's different.
It's a me, Grifta.
Nico.
Why are we like this?
I don't know, but there ain't no way I'm getting on that rainbow road. Yeah, Nico's like,
Is that how we're calling it these days?
yes, exactly. It's exactly what we're calling it these days. Sorry, blue screen for a minute. So yeah, Nico's like, I'll just, I'll go back and talk to the ladies and get all the details, and we can do that while you talk to your people and get your details.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Unless anybody else has got anything they want to do. Grifter looks around room.
I think KTP says, well, come on, as soon as spells on bullets was mentioned, as if you were going to do anything else.
Yeah, but KTP, I can learn spells that will like overclock stuff for you.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's sorry, that came across a bit wrong. But she says it kind of like laughing, like as in, like she hasn't said anything this entire conversation because as soon as that was mentioned, she knew the way it was going to go anyway.
I mean, not that Nico doesn't know how to manipulate people, but
Nico?
I need to ask Sphere something. Sphere, it is a brand new day. So I need you to make that roll for me of logic and engineering, so to see if you can continue working on that chair of yours and how much progress you make.
Yep. I just need to remember if that's 8 dice or 9. Because
as far as I remember, progress has been slow.
Progress has been slow.
Because the rolls have not been kind.
It's been so bad. That's no right. I upgraded both of those, so that's actually 10 dice these days. Moving up in the world. You know,
Three?
no, 4.
Hey.
But the fact that it was nearly a glitch is hateful.
So that brings you up to how much?
Where is that one? I have that noted. But of course the PDF reader doesn't. That brings me up to 12 total.
How much?
12.
12. Still have about 13 to go, so
Not even halfway.
have fun with that.
I mean,
It might be worth in one of these rolls to just, spend edge.
Probably the next one, I'm just gonna do the exploding dice.
It's worth a shot.
I think at this point, I want to say that Sphere is probably just also very distracted by everything going on.
Yeah.
And is definitely currently also conflicted with that last request of, trying to balance the scales. Let's do something to make things right.
I think that resonates with Sphere a lot.
There is that, but there's also being asked to do it on behalf of someone else has them essentially sitting there thinking, well, is it really my responsibility to balance someone else's scales? And now that we know exactly how unbalanced those are, is that something they want to do? There's a lot of rattling around going.
Sphere has to think themselves. The file provided by Malcolm regarded a ring of beta human trafficking happening in the city. Is this something Sphere might be willing to let go just to spite Malcolm?
No, it's that there's a sense of I don't want to do this on behalf of someone else, but no matter how it's done, it's going to end up being in accordance with the wishes of somebody who it turns out was a really nasty piece of work. Like reconciling that is taking some time.
Yeah, yeah. It turns out the Rockwell family has issues.
Who knew? But yeah, that's rattling around their brain, and they might have they'll probably have mentioned a bit of this. Just that sort of.
I mean, if you want to bring it up and you guys want to hash it out, that would be great.
I mean, I think that would be a discussion worth having.
I leave that to you. So how does Fear bring it up?
Probably just in the lull of trying to figure out, or post Grifter and Nico bringing up their respective we have jobs to do, would kind of wait for a quiet moment and go, so speaking of priorities, everyone, I mean, I didn't see what you all saw, so I'm going by secondhand here, but this whole, well, essentially, if we're being asked to deal with trafficking, I mean, on the one hand, yes. On the other hand, who are we doing it for?
Wait, trafficking? What did I miss?
That was the file that Malcolm provided. That was the kind of like the last favor he asked of you, of
yeah.
that last gig he wanted you to please take care of. Much like every other job that he's given you, that's pretty much go help someone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nico is absolutely down for that one.
Yeah,
Kids disappear all the time off the streets for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially, it's just one of those. I don't know how I feel about the fact that we've essentially been in the employ of someone who's desperately trying to rehabilitate themselves from some monstrous shit. And I kind of feel like part of me just wants to take a spiritual scrub, you know?
Why does it bother you?
I don't mind doing good things. I don't mind helping people. I don't like the notion of helping people so that somebody who, I apologize for my choice of words here, but somebody who was a pretty fucked up person, a pretty morally despicable person who's done some horrific things, can move on feeling slightly better about themselves, you know? Like, I want to do this because it's the right thing, not so that someone can feel a little bit of spiritual warmth.
I mean, whatever you got to tell yourself.
Right? But what am I telling myself? That's the question. If I say we're doing this because it's the right thing, am I just fooling myself? Like, I don't know.
Nico, I'll be right back. And she's going to go run, and she's going to go find a pebble or a rock or something. And then she's going to come running back, and she's going to hand it to Sphere. I'm not in a place to throw stones.
Okay, you took that very literally.
And then she just gives them a hug.
I also want Nico, KTP, and or Grifter. I say and or in case Grifter just doesn't care. A willpower and intuition roll. Difficulty is 1. Just I leave it open to Grifter because Grifter tends to not be bothered too much by things. Four. Okay.
That's 4 for KTP.
I'm gonna have a roll on it. Don't. I'm in for into not much. And 2 for me.
You are when the thing that Sphere says about being employed by someone who's morally reprehensible strikes you, reminds you of something. There have never been strict strings attached with Malcolm. He gave you a safe house when you needed it. He provided this place for you, and has already told you whatever happens to him, this place will remain functional and hidden. And the only thing he ever told you was that occasionally he would send you gigs that were essentially charitable. The only thing he's ever asked of you is do this kind of job of, helping others. But you have never worked for him. You don't really report to him or anything. Like Lawrence worked for him. Well, worked. You have never had those kind of strings.
We do it because we want to, not because we have to.
Honest.
Sphere just clutches the stone and goes, I'm gonna sit with this for a while. I gotta sort things out in my head because having a moral compass really sucks sometimes.
Yeah, you need to let that shit go.
And is that moral compass telling you that people can't change?
No, it's just it's telling me that if people want to change and do good in the world, they should do it and not got others to do it on their behalf. But at the same time, I understand that there's more to it, and I just don't like that it's complex, I've got enough to deal with right now. We've all got enough to deal with, and now there's this on top of everything, and I wish I could hate that man, but I can't. I can't bring myself to do it. And I freely admit that. And I'm just struggling right now. You know those days where you just think like, God, morally I should, but also, and then just looks at the stone again and goes,
Can I tell you something?
hey, always.
Do you know what fucked me up the most about Meg?
I can't even begin to guess.
Because it's kind of hard to stop loving somebody who basically raised you, took care of you, made you feel safe, made sure you were fed. You don't give up that shit easy. That's what made it the hardest. You can hold two conflicting emotions on somebody. It's not comfortable. It really, really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But you just gotta decide which emotion is gonna be the one that's gonna work for you. And Sphere,
Yeah.
you're always gonna have a place here. You're still part of us. If you don't want to do this, if it bothers you, okay, you don't have to. I'm not gonna judge you for that. Nothing's gonna change for you.
I mean, I'm
Wait,
probably still
not
gonna
like-
get it.
It's not like we're gonna say, no, you can't have dessert this week.
Wait, we have dessert this week?
We do have dessert this week.
Oh no, I
I
started.
may
some-
have to go buy pies.
I think you may have started something here by accident. I get it. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna help because it's the right thing to do. I just want to do it for the right reasons.
Okay.
We are doing it for the right reasons. If you give a shit, right?
And Sphere, we know you. Like,
Yeah.
you can't find out about people being trafficked and not do anything about it. That's not you.
I don't like that you know me well enough to say that. And God, we've been around each other for a while.
It doesn't
No,
matter
that's-
whether Malcolm asked us to get involved or not. Like you said, this is the right thing to do.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like we know about it now. We can't unwrap this thing. Can't unreveal what's been revealed. Gotta deal with it somehow. For one reason or another, I guess. I mean, yeah, obviously I'm in. We'll just see about how to make sure this is our will. You know? I want to make it our legacy. Nobody else's. But that's me. And I don't know how you all feel, so I'm not going to dictate that. Takes the stone again, just like kind of slips it into a jacket pocket and goes, I'll need a reminder for a while, I think.
Grifter, do you make the call to ask your contact for more information?
Yes, go on then. If I can find a quiet corner.
Yeah, you call him and says, "Hey, Grifter, do you have an answer for me?"
Kinda. So there's like, I need to know a few more details before I commit myself to this.
Okay, I can. Yeah, I have a few. I mean, ask away. I'll see if we can fill the details.
What's the time frame on this? Are we talking?
It's a couple of days. I think it's a VIP coming into town, doing a presentation, then fucking off.
Okay, and then the big one. Who is it?
I don't have those details. That will need to be provided by the actual person, recruiting for the job.
Okay.
I just got, the most basic of job specs because they don't want to, give the details unless they have, a crew hired.
Yeah.
It's kind
Do we
of,
know- do we know
security
who
and all that.
What we're protecting from exactly? Like, are we talking-
I'm gonna guess people trying to kill them. That's usually what you're protecting people from.
That's all we're gonna get in it. All right.
You want
Let me go
more?
back.
You want more? You have to at least get the meeting with Mr. Johnson and, go from there.
Well, I tell you what. I mean, I suppose there's no harm in taking the meeting, right?
Not at all.
I'm gonna need the answers. I know what's gonna happen if I go back to the others with this.
Only thing I can tell you, it's some form of VIP. here in town for some form of presentation. It's just gonna be in town for 2 days, and really your job is just during the day of the presentation.
Okay.
That's as far as I can tell you.
All right. Well, I mean, to tell the customer that I'm interested, and I'm just going to go and finalise a couple of loose ends before I say yes. And I'll get back to you within, well, a couple of hours, I suppose.
Okay, let me know.
All right, mate. So,
You go back to your crew and
right. So, on the subject of stuff for Grifter, I'm not going to get a lot more detail unless I go and meet, well, not the customer. Well, yeah, the customer, but the broker. So, I mean, is everybody happy for me to do that, or would you rather I didn't?
So you didn't find out anything at all?
Oh, well, it's a VIP. They're in town for a day or two. That's what we'd be protecting them for. But as to who they are, what they're doing, who we can expect trouble from, nothing more.
Okay, so we have none of the relevant information we need in order to do the job.
yeah, but you're as Shadowrunners, you know that no one is going to give you that kind of information freely without you agreeing to something.
Yeah, like it's.
So you take the meeting. You can always say no.
Well, look, you know,
KTP's enjoying herself, and she's going to wind Grifter up. So she sort of puts on a serious face, but as in, like, you know, she's going to start getting pissed if he doesn't start being serious. So she just looks at him and kind of puts her hand on her hip and says, "Right, what are you going to do when we turn up for this job, and the people we're protecting this guy from is the accuser? You know, our best friends."
Well, then that'll be easy, won't it? Because we'll just go, sup, do us a favour. Don't kill him for a couple of days while we're on duty, then kill away.
And you honestly think it's going to work like that?
Yeah.
They seem like an all right bunch of guys.
And I think she's kind of like giving like side eyes to Sphere and to Nico to let them know that she's not being entirely serious.
You're
What we're gonna do? I'm gonna need Nico and Sphere to roll intuition and perception, and we're gonna have you roll charisma and con. And Grifter, I'm gonna have you roll as well. I am going to give Nico and Sphere an edge, because there was a bit of a hint there from KTP to have an edge on the roll.
Oh, fuck me, drunk.
That's awesome.
Well, that's a 5 for KTP.
What?
So what is it that Grifter's got to roll? Sorry.
Intuition and perception, same as the others.
Thanks.
Because I'm such a perceptive character.
I mean, who knows? It could happen.
Not gonna
I have to
happen.
remember what a single edge will get me.
A reroll.
A reroll. Oh, okay.
So I got a 3.
3 as well. KTP, even with a little kind of wink, KTP is so good with this lie that you two, Nico and Sphere, aren't kind of like, is she serious? Is she not? Like, you're not entirely sure where this is going. Grifter, you're in deep shit.
Well, I mean, the depth varies, right?
Nico runs to the kitchen, grabs popcorn, and comes back.
Yeah, like Sphere immediately hears what's being said, and I'm just gonna say, because the roll is shit, has this notion of, wait, hang on. What if we do get hired as security, but we sell everything to the people trying to kill them, and then we basically play both ends? That's a brilliant idea. We could get paid double, or at least we could get one thing for free, and then we can get paid.
Karis reads your lips on what you're saying, and signs, and all of those who can. Actually, no, he's using the glove, so you can actually hear it on the speakers. So much for the moral compass.
Touche, Karis.
Ooh, get the aloe.
Sphere just kind of looks, goes, all right, but if it's a piece of shit.
I think at that point,
It's
like
it's
KTP
taken like
can't-
50 episodes for Karis to deliver a burn.
yeah, like KTP's so shocked at Kara saying something like that she's just now laughing, so she can't keep up the act anymore.
Karis is he's half serious or half joking, kind of like he was here for that entire heartfelt I am suffering from my morality conversation, and then we can just kill them all. It's like kind of like in his
Sphere's mind, it was that
dissonance
sort of,
immediately. Like
to Sphere's mind, it was like that sort of, well, okay, if the person we're supposed to be protecting is a piece of shit, then we could just do the right thing.
We don't know they're a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, that's me saying that as a player. Sphere is just there like, oh god.
I mean, Nico's like,
Can I hang on? Let me take these words and just.
Yum, yum, yum.
the only thing I want to know from this Mr. Johnson is why this person doesn't have their own personal security. Because if they're a VIP that needs protection, why don't they have their own?
Good point.
This is another good question. And
So,
one,
I mean, take the meat, find out. But
Yeah.
we need to kind of be skeptical about it.
Is Grifter going to go alone to this meeting?
yeah, no.
Who is going with Grifter?
Is it worth Nico going and being invisible?
Yeah, that's what
Or do we want to be that sneaky?
Well, no, we don't need. It's only a meat, isn't it? It's not.
Mm.
I'll go and be invisible.
Okay.
I'm sensing a massive distrust.
No, what you're
Not of
sensing
you.
is the fact that we don't want anything to happen to you.
Oh, fine. Okay.
What you're sensing is a history of things going to shit when only one of us does.
It's called The
That's it.
History of Violence.
Yeah. Okay. I will enjoy the company.
Okay.
So you make the call, and
Make the call.
they tell you they can set up the call for the meeting for the next day, if you like, early in the morning.
Where are we meeting?
They give you an address.
Okay.
The address is the lobby of a hotel.
A swanky hotel or a dive?
Swanky hotel.
Excellent news.
Yep. Fuck it. I mean, I say swanky. It's a Marriott.
Hey, for our standards, that's like
Yeah, it's
that's the Ritz-Carlton.
it's affordable. It's affordably swanky.
I mean, look, let's put it this way: we've made something nice out of it, but we are living in the ruins of an old underground station. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean,
we've made it
it's
our
been
own.
kitted out and modified, so it's essentially a
Yeah.
James Bond villain base, or a GI Joe base. Both apply.
but it didn't start out that way.
Yeah, it didn't start out that way. No.
But in the
Anything?
meantime, is there anything we can do to move Nico's job forward?
I just need to go get the details from Sarah and Amelia.
If you call, you can call. I mean, there is a number
Yeah.
for the talismans. You can call them, or you can go there in person, whatever you prefer.
I think Nika's one of those people, I think she likes to, when it comes to dealing with them, she likes to do it face to face. So yeah, she'll just hop on a bus and
When you're hopping on the bus, you realize, we need a car.
I
We
mean,
do need a car, don't
not
we?
really. She's the bus or the subway or walking. So
You arrive at the Talismonger, and as you're coming in, you kind of detect someone set up like fresh wards. You feel that almost like slight pushback at first, and then you step through, and you notice immediately like a difference because Kai had never warded his place, which, you know, that was him being an idiot, but his sister's not taking risks. Inside, you find them just, you know, doing inventory and setting things up. And Sarah goes, "Oh, hi, Nico."
So I talked to the crew and they're, yes, we'll do this. I just need details.
It's I can give you the address. It's an old house used. I think it's one of those places that up to like 10 years ago was. Well, it's one of those buildings that, you know, every room was turned into like an apartment. Something has about 3 floors. Before that, I think it was a hospital, like a hospice of some kind. Before that, an orphanage. I'm fairly sure the ruins are built under a Celtic over a Celtic graveyard, because, you know, that's how it usually goes. What I can tell you is that it is, as I said, profoundly haunted. Very dangerous. Be careful.
Okay. So you want us to get rid of the ghosts?
Yes. I mean, if you can talk them out, or you want to kick them out, that is your prerogative. We have people interested in using the space, because it is, you know, it's been abandoned so long that the place is affordable.
Oh, okay.
But we have some friends that want to move in, but, you know, if there aren't ghosts in the property, and because in the past there's been some events there, like people trying to live in there, suddenly jumping out the window kind of events.
And that makes it difficult to live someplace when you keep having the impulse to kill yourself.
Yes, that's the kind of thing. So we just want to clear it out, cleansed. I mean, once you're done, we can come in and just, you know, do any patchwork on any, you know, cracks that may be with the ethereal sea. But we need the infestation gone.
Okay, because see, and I'm gonna need. I've never done anything quite like this before. I mean, the place where I'm living now, there were spirits, but I just threw up a mana barrier and warded it, and that took care of the problem. Or an astral barrier, something like that. You know, I put up this thing so that it kept them out, because that's not really my thing. But so, what am I going to need?
Mostly violence.
Okay,
that or empathy. Empathy works sometimes.
Empathy works. Okay. So, but they are corporal, so that, I mean, because
it's an astral presence. There is, in our world, they have a form of body. It's mostly just how to explain it. It's just coalesced energy. Enough trauma can make it disperse, and, you know, it evaporates.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Empathy. Okay, so that means I'm gonna have to duct tape Grifter's mouth shut. Right, we could do that. I don't know when that's gonna happen. We've got like a couple other things on the burner. But
just once you do it, give us a call or come visit and let us know, and we can, you know, handle the rest.
Okay, we'll do. And yeah, she'll head on out.
Okay.
Head back. She'll probably pick up like some spell components, just because she's going to start looking at there are a couple of spells that she wants to start learning.
As you're approaching on your way back, as you're approaching home, can you please make an intuition and perception roll for me?
Okay. Here we go.
Why do you always go? Oh, Why that reaction? Everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
Please
is
make the
wrong.
roll to see if you discovered the evil bastard following you.
At worst, it's gonna be Vic again. Now it's Mecha Vic.
Just stay down. It's like
Yeah.
whack-a-mole, except it's whack-a-vic.
That sucked. One.
Vic is like Ridley in Metroid. He appears in every encounter. Like every time he appears again.
He's an ex that just won't go away.
You are walking towards the base, and at first you don't notice it, but you find like near the entrance, like slumped against the wall, is what you can only think is a very, very intoxicated Lawrence.
Ah.
I said it was just fine.
So she walks over and she kind of squats down next to him, and she makes sure that his face, so that if he exhales, is going to be pointed away from her. Because she does.
Oh no, he reeks to high heaven.
Oh yeah.
There is so much alcohol in him that if you light a match, he'll blow up.
And she just kind of taps him on the side of the head. Hi.
Hi, Nico. Can I come in?
Of course. And then she will help him stand up, and she's going to take him straight to the employees, what used to be the station locker room, and she's shoving him in a shower and cranking that cold.
You shove him and goes, and you.
She's holding the door, the thing closed, and she just got the water on.
He almost like a moment tries to like claw the door, like just open it, and then just stay. You see him just at a moment just give up, and it's just standing under the shower, and it takes you a little while to realize that, because you don't hear it from the sound of the shower, and then when the shower starts to like die down, you realize he's crying in the shower.
Yeah, once he stops fighting, she'll give it like a few seconds, and then she'll open the curtain. She's not getting in with him, but she starts peeling off the clothes until he's stripped down, and she hands him, she kind of shoves a washcloth in his hand and some soap, and she's just like, "You're not alone."
He cleans himself up. Do you have any like clothes for him? Anything, or are you, or is he go all natural throughout the station?
I'm sure because Harley had a locker there that had his jumpsuits on, so she'll grab one of those.
Okay, yeah, he puts that on. It is ill-fitting because he's taller than Harley, but leaner.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of comical thing where his the legs it ends up well before his ankles, but the rest of the thing just looks like he's a child in a man's uniform.
And then she just kind of takes him by the arm and rocks him upstairs to where the kitchen is, and sits him down at the table and starts cooking some eggs and bacon.
As you're sitting there, he's just. Like just for a moment, just mumbling to himself, and then just you hear him say, "I don't know how to found out. I was so careful. He sure enough found out until I was ready. Everything was going perfect."
Yep. She's not saying anything except other than, "Here, drink this," and she's handing him water and something for the hangover, for the headache, and she's handing him food and coffee and everything like that. And she's not going to say anything until he's kind of sobered up a bit, and if that means he has to sleep first.
You between the cold shower that kind of snaps him partially into place, plus the coffee and everything, he does kind of basically fall asleep on like leaning on the kitchen counter for a bit. And after you feed him and he rests a bit more, he does eventually wake up, but very early in the morning. Like, I'm guessing because when you return, it's kind of like close to, we'll say afternoonish.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this that has been going on, he ends up kind of like waking up better, not fully well, because he still needs to process a lot of that in his system, but is more or less sober around like 11 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, because she dumped him in her bed. She's got her cot still in her room that she used to sleep on.
Yeah.
And so she can keep an eye on him. She's been checking on him and everything like that.
And meantime, what is everyone else doing when they see this spectacle?
Just watching.
Popcorn.
Staying far away because
Yeah.
that's
Grifton walks in the room, goes, "Oh shit!" Just turns and walks the fuck out.
Is it possible to do a handbrake turn in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
I mean,
Wheelchair races down the ambulance ramp. Yes, it is possible.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Kat?
Wheelchair races down the ambulance ramp. Yes, it's possible.
Seems legit.
We'll just-
Personal
we'll leave
experience?
Yes.
Okay,
we'll leave that there.
that's all I need to know.
Yeah, that's all we need. Essentially, like, Sphere sees this and will be careful to keep an eye just in case Nico needs help. But it's that sort of, this is beyond my capability to really have any influence on. So, like, you know, if anything needs to be done, sure. But at the moment, like, nope, Nico's got this.
And KDP just enjoying the show.
Pretty much.
Karis on the other hand, is looking intently at the door. And you know, those of you, I mean, you all know Karis well enough that he's not very subtle with showing his emotions. He looks very troubled. But doesn't, sign anything, doesn't say anything awkwardly, but his gaze locked on that door. The door leading to Nico's room.
Yeah. And once Nico put him down, she left him there. She's out and about. Just going, every once in a while she just goes over and peeks in on him when he's awake.
As I mentioned, he kind of wakes up around 11 p.m. and comes out and just looks a bit embarrassed. And a few says, hi, sorry. It's not been a good past day.
Yeah. By the way, your clothes are clean. They're folded up on the cot. If you want to.
Yeah, I'll grab them in a bit.
You want some coffee or you want some water?
No, I really can't stomach anything right now.
Okay.
A bit of water, just enough.
Okay.
And he sits down and it's just shaking his head. And you bring him back the water, I suppose. And he is, I don't fucking know how he's good, but how the fuck did he find me out?
She is going to, before she fully enters the room, she's going to set her comm so that it is sent directly to KTP and KTP only.
Oh, by the way, no. What I mentioned, he doesn't just wake up; he leaves the room and heads towards, like, the communal area and sits there. Is everyone else outside, or have you all retired for the evening?
No, KTP's still hanging around because, to be blunt, she doesn't entirely trust Lawrence. No.
Karis has been sitting there still as a statue. So right now, like, basically, like, Lawrence is sitting down. Opposite him would be Karis and KTP. And you're saying you're setting your comm to.
Yeah, Yeah, to just KTP. And she's like, okay, private conversation. And she grabs him by the wrist. Come on.
Okay. And where do you drag him?
She's going to. I don't want to take him down to the tunnels. I don't want him to take him back to her room.
Kitchen?
No, that's
Or another
a
place
little-
with sharp objects?
Yeah.
Shooting range?
Yeah, that's probably best. The shooting range, just because it's soundproofed to a bit, and it's private, and so she's gonna take him there. She's gonna find a chair or whatever. They're gonna sit, and she's
When
gonna go.
you leave KTP, the moment they go, Kara stands up and begins to follow.
That's fine.
I will say for the record, Sphere is finding reasons to be in the vicinity just in case, but not getting directly involved unless necessary.
I think KTP would follow Karis, but sort of as they got to the entrance of the range, she sort of put a hand on his shoulder and then signaled for him to wait and kind of like sign to say.
Yeah, he's fine. Basically now just leaning near the entrance to the range, but keeping an eye on what's going on inside.
Yeah. Like, she'd sign to Karis to let him know that she can hear the conversation and like just be on guard. Like, say he's ready for a signal.
You can when you touch his shoulder, he is tense.
Yeah.
Like this is from what you know, whatever Karis perceives, he seems to be keyed on like the potential problem of the situation. Even though, as a deaf person, he can't hear anything that's being said, but something is telling him that this can be problematic.
So Nico's going to take him so that they can't see. They have privacy. There's no visual line of sight because she knows that she's sending this directly to KTP.
Okay.
And she's going to sit down, and she is not in his personal space. She is at least an arm's length away from. She's more than an arm's length away from him. Because again, she's wary. She's dealt with this kind of people on the edge like this before, so she's wary. She knows how to keep that space while still kind of projecting that I'm helping you kind of thing. So she sits down, she looks at him, and she's like, "What happened?"
I got the information that found everything, found that thing we could get from Shiawase that will counteract the nanobots that are in Malcolm's system, would maybe not fix him completely, but would completely stop the degeneration, and from there sky's the limit. I was, I sent you that message to you guys to, how we can, get that rolling. And then I get a message from Malcolm to, come to his office. Nothing unusual, business as usual. He would often just, come in, he might be not feeling okay or need me to take care of anything. Just, just a normal day. But this time, I don't know. He called me in, and the moment he called me and just said, "You're fired," and then just sicked a couple of the security goons on me, and they summarily kicked me out of the building. I have no idea how that happened. I've been so careful with this. I don't know.
Nice. Do you know what it cost us to get that?
Hmm?
Do you know what it cost us to get that information from you?
Uh, I mean, you guys did a job for Jackal. I mean,
Yeah, I was minutes from death. Literally. Minutes from death. Not coming back, not getting better, was dying. Karis was dying. Everybody was beat to fuck, and we made a very, very powerful enemy out of somebody that Grifty used to know.
I mean, I'm sorry to hear that, but this, I mean, you know, this was important, and
was important to
also,
you.
I mean,
I know it was important to you.
and I mean, don't you all kind of do this like for a living?
Not if we're dead.
I mean, I know, but I mean, don't you all kind of regularly get in danger, like for
Yeah,
jobs and stuff? I mean, that's you do that for money.
Lawrence.
You saying you wouldn't do
Lawrence,
it for a friend?
I was going to die for you. I was dying for you. Karis was dying for you.
Yeah, I get that, and again, I'm sorry. It was never my intention to put you in harm's way, but
Well, yeah, it was. That's our job, but that's a risk. To save Malcolm, we could have died. We nearly died. And there's a very real possibility that continuing down this path is going to end in us dying. Somebody, all of us. Is that a trade you're willing to make?
So you're saying you're not gonna help anymore?
Is that a trade you're willing to make? Our lives for his?
No,
My life for his?
I don't want to trade anyone's lives. I just want to help Malcolm.
Why?
You know why?
No, I don't. I don't know why.
Because he fucking saved my life. He took me from being a slave for some fucking abusive asshole who was forcing me to do heinous shit and gave me an opportunity, gave me a life, gave me everything. I need to save him. I need to save him.
You need to save him. Does he want to be saved?
He's got this fucking guilt trip nonsense. That there is a good man that deserves more.
Is dying and has been dying for a long time. Isn't he entitled to choose? Doesn't he have the right to choose when he stops suffering?
I'm about to. We're on the way of making sure he's not suffering anymore.
Is that a guarantee?
Yes.
No.
I have seen the medical evidence. I know.
So have I. It's a study.
No, it's not a study. It's actual technology in the hands of Shadowrun Corporation.
So that's what you want. And what anybody else wants, what anybody else sacrifices, doesn't matter because it's what you want.
I'm sorry, but how many times have I personally saved your asses? Have I called on any of the? How?
Yeah,
I don't.
and we just repaid you.
Right. Okay. So that's how it is. Fine. You know what?
Lawrence, sit down and listen to me. You don't.
At this point, like KTP sort of flicks their eyes towards Karis, like to let him know that it's getting a little bit more heated, but they haven't got to go rolling.
You look at Karis, and his hand is already metal.
Okay.
You don't have the right to make that decision for Malcolm. It doesn't matter. No, listen to me.
No.
It doesn't matter.
I'm his doctor. I will save him.
You don't have that right to make that decision for him. I don't care if you're a doctor. It doesn't matter. Nobody has the right to make that decision for him, to take that away for anybody else.
I won't let him die.
You don't have a choice.
Oh,
You
hey.
can't make him. You can't get him to live forever.
I don't care if he lives forever. I just want him to live a normal fucking life.
That's not your choice. That's not your. You don't get that to make that choice for him.
He did it for me. I'm going to do it for him. Because when he did it for me, I also wanted someone to end it all, and he didn't. He didn't abandon me. I won't abandon him.
But he wants to die now. Let him have
Fucking
that.
hell, so was I. That's a stupid decision.
No, it's not. Not in his place. Not where he's at now.
You don't understand.
I do understand. I've seen the data. I've seen the pictures. I know his life. I saw what happened.
What do you mean you saw his life?
I saw his life. I saw the file.
When did you talk with Malcolm?
Oh.
The day you were fired.
Your danger sense triggers. You are in danger.
Yep. And that is when she just looks at him and she's pulling up the magic.
I
He
think
is- his expression-
KTP senses that pause from Nico, and
You
He's
see him
like-
stand up and he's squared up. Like, you know there's going to be violence. But the moment he does, it's almost like you see in a movie someone walking to the street and a bus hits them. Only the bus is Karis. It just tackles him and just sends him sprawling against the counter for the range. And Lawrence kind of looks dazed and just looks up, and what he sees is Karis tip to toe in that living metal armor just staring at him. And Nico, you don't need to roll for this.
Okay.
You have never seen, and this is the first time you see it, and maybe something you breaks a bit, but you are seeing Karis in a murderous rage.
She moves to get between them.
Karis,
And
and this is the first time Karis is feeling this. So much like a kid that gets super angry and starts crying, he has tears on his face, but he is keyed off.
Yep. She gets between them. She puts a hand on Karis's chest just to give him that grounding, that contact. But her focus is on Lawrence. And she's like, don't do this. Think about this, Lawrence. He has the right to choose. You don't have to like it. You can hate it. You can mourn him, grieve. But you don't have the right to make that choice for him.
Lawrence doesn't say anything, but he stands up and begins to leave.
I'm still your friend and I always will be.
Don't you ever address me again. We are
what you
done.
wish. Okay.
He goes, he finds his clothes, changes, and leaves the base.
She shadows him out. Just to make sure that nobody else
You shout him
gets-
out, and Karis is right behind you.
Can I? I'm
It's
going to
just-
interject here.
Real quick, can I just say, Nico's going to keep physical contact with Karis, whether it's a hand on his wrist, his arm, shoulder, back, whatever. She's keeping a physical touch on Karis to keep him grounded.
Sphere?
I was going to interject and say that this is obviously this happening is not going to go unnoticed for any of us.
No, not at all.
No. Especially the moment Karis goes, poof.
Yeah, for those of you
It's-
outside, you see that Karis is leaning against the door, and there is a shift where KTP kind of taps him, and she taps him, and he's gone. Like, he just turns into the room and goes on a full sprint, and the next thing you hear is a crash.
Yeah. hearing the exchange when Lawrence goes sleep, Sphere will be essentially by the exit, waiting, not blocking, just waiting by the exit, and will look up and just go, why does it always get fucked up like this?
He regards you, and the only emotion on his face is contempt for you right now.
The fuck did I ever do for you? Or do to, sorry, take that back, hang on. What the fuck did I ever do to you?
You're fucking ungrateful pieces of shit. And he opens the door. Hey, you tell me,
Yeah.
what is Fear gonna do?
You actually reach out and grab him.
You grab him?
You just grab him and go, I'm sorry. Did the fact that I lost the use of my lower half for fucking you escape your notice?
Make it a charisma and influence roll for me.
Oh God. Really?
Yeah,
I suck
really?
at this.
You're attempting to reach him.
You know what? So, fun fact, I have no influence.
So you just roll charisma.
Yeah, but what I do have is 4 edge points, and I'm going to use them. All of them. And you know what I'm using them for.
Oh, hell yeah.
Add that
I'm
edge.
trying to get through to somebody. So, here goes.
I'm going to put the difficulty...
There's also a,
there's a dice
boost
boost
plus
thing.
boost.
Yeah, there are 2+3s that can be used. Straight up, we're going to tell you the difficulty for this because of how things have escalated. The difficulty is 5.
Okay. Hey, gang, do you mind if I take both of those dice boosts?
Do it.
Yeah.
Because what I have then, because that was an abysmal roll, in fact, but that means I have 3, and they will all 3 explode, and here's praying for 2 more. Four, 5, 6 on the 3.
Are you using the
Wait,
plus?
hang on.
You use
That
the
6
plus 3s as
explode.
well?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the,
6s
that's with
explode.
the 6. Hang on. I shit you not, explodes again.
Okay, keep going.
We're up to 6. Nope, that's a 2. All right, 6 hits.
Okay, 6 successes.
Yes.
He pauses. Like it's the first thing that has broken through the haze he is in.
Mm-hmm.
You're fairly certain that this is, you have reached him in a way, but it's not general. You've reached him for you.
Yeah.
And he looks at you, and there is a pause. Yeah. I never wanted that for you. Let me finish. I never wanted that. But I'm trying to save someone's life here. Essentially, basically, for all intents and purposes, I'm trying to save my dad's life. I'm not done.
I'm just breathing. It's cool.
You went above and beyond. Appreciate it, and I owe you. And he pulls a card and gives it to you. If you ever want to explore surgery, bioware, cyberware, anything to try to repair the damage that was done, this person will help you. No questions asked, no strings attached, no money needed. The card has his own name.
Okay.
And he finishes storming off.
I'll let you finish. Can you let me finish?
He stops, like he's on the threshold.
Yeah.
But he's kind of just giving you a side eye.
I'm not here to guilt you. You do what you want. Whatever is between you and Nico is between you and Nico. That's fine. All I'm saying is everything that happened, I didn't do it for you. I did it because Nico cares about you. And I think that whatever is going on, you take the time you need to process this. You two have got shit to work out between each other. You obviously give a hell of a lot of a damn about Malcolm. And I get there's something there that I can't even begin to comprehend. You have someone here who cares about you and is trying to reach you and be there for you. And it may not be a way you want right now. God damn it, at least take that into account. And that's all I ask of you. Now you can go your way, and if you decide not to listen to me, whatever. But at least you heard me out, and thanks for this.
He looks at you and
appreciate
says,
it, and it means a lot.
You want to know why I'm doing all this? Ask Nico. She knows. And that's why this betrayal I can't forgive.
I mean, I don't even know what betrayal it was, but
he walks away.
That's your business. Sphere looks at the card and just.
You see on his credentials. Everyone's always known him as Malcolm's nurse.
Yeah.
This guy has more credentials as a doctor that they barely fit on the card.
Oh God!
So
this is like one of those like MD, PhD.
Yeah, it's the whole alphabet. Basically, if you look it up, Malcolm has training in BioWare, cyberware, and that includes neurosurgery, basically, because BioWare and that kind of thing is connected by on a nervous level. He's essentially like heart surgeon, brain surgeon, every kind of surgeon. Malcolm is he is a genius, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That card is pocketed, and Sphere was going to have to do some serious thinking about whether or not to even mention that to the rest of the gang.
I mean,
Nico was shadowing him out, so she's standing.
I mean, Nico and Karis have seen it and have heard this because they were shadowing the guy.
She turns to Sphere and she's just like, "Can I hug you?"
You heard all that, did you?
Well, kind of standing right here, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Come on, bring it in.
She gives Sphere a hug. Thank you for trying. And then she turns to Karis and goes, "Can I hug you too?" And she signs thank you.
You notice he is not relaxed.
Okay.
Karis is just looking at that door. You can both make even KDP. Have you followed or have you kind of stayed back and waited?
No, I think she's following, but kind of at a slight distance.
Any of you can roll an intuition and perception.
Hey, I'm back to shit. 1.
And thus the universe is balanced.
Oh! That was nearly a glitch, actually. Again.
I mean, if it's a perception check, so that doesn't matter much.
Yeah, I don't
7.
know. What?
7
Yeah.
hits?
7.
4 for me.
Yeah,
What
with 4.
are you?
No, 8.
Yeah,
I mean, that makes
Nico,
sense
from
for
your
me.
point of view, from what you're perceiving, Karis is just in a rage that he can't let go at this moment. Right. And you can clearly tell that it's a protective thing. Like, someone went to touch my family, I don't allow this shit.
Yeah.
KTB, with your 8, would you think, because you have all kind of studied the full shebang of whatever genetic cocktails that are part of Karis, this has likely triggered some form of like adrenal boost in his system that is essentially like combat mode, and Karis is keyed off to fuck someone up at this moment. And the reason that you're being able to stop him and just with a touch is a surprise, because in this state, at least KDP, in this state, he should be in his state of mind. He would likely just plow through everyone until he gets to whatever he needs to get to. But he's not moving. He is staying put where he's standing. But his eyes are glued to that door.
Fear is just scared. Actually, like genuinely scared by, oh God, I don't know what's going to happen next, that sort of thing.
Nico just is trying to talk to him softly, trying to keep him, she's hoping that she'll eventually kind of break through, but her eyes are going from him to KTP.
KTP is going to quickly dive into the Matrix to talk to Pixelsworth, and she's going to ask him that if he sees Lawrence come, if he appears anywhere on camera near the base, like if he could send an alert to everyone immediately.
As you command, madam.
And then she's going to come out of the Matrix and go, like, concentrate on the group.
He goes, I also will make sure to keep an eye out for any attempts of intrusion into the security system.
So she says to Pixelsworth, you're worth your weight in gold. We'll talk soon.
I'm technically not worth anything, but I accept the sentiment.
Then, yeah, back to the group.
You come back out, and right about now, between these few seconds, now that the door is closed and Lawrence is fully gone, and even you can see on the cameras that he is no longer in the vicinity. You'll sense that Karis kind of keys off, and kind of the living metal armor kind of goes back into him, and he's just panting, just almost like out of breath.
KTP is going to go and make, not coffee, she's going to make tea and put loads of sugar in it.
Lots of honey, yeah.
Yeah, and as quickly as possible and run back.
Yeah, Nico's gonna. I think Nico's gonna try and, if she can get Karis to follow her again. She's now holding onto his wrist. She's like trying to get him to follow her and get him someplace where he can sit down, get a blanket wrapped around him. But again, making sure that he's hearing a friendly voice and that there's physical contact.
He does follow without questioning, and he sits down and he drinks the tea, and it helps him calm down. But you can now the intensity is gone. It's replaced by a look of confusion in his face.
It's okay. It's a normal response that you got dialed up, like way up, and now you're crashing, and it's okay. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, it's okay. You stayed in control. And
he's nodding and drinking the tea and I think this is as you're all kind of calming down from the situation, it could be a good place for us to take our 10-minute break. So everyone, take a break, Go get a drink, stretch, and we're back in 10 with the rest of our story. See you all in a bit.
Share.
And we're back.
Some of you may die, but that's a risk.
Does anyone want to do anything during the rest of this evening? Anything you want to talk after this whole debacle? Or is it more a case where you all kind of go? I don't think anyone's going to sleep.
No, I think Nico's staying.
I mean, aside from Grifter.
KTP.
I will
Actually-
go to sleep.
Actually, I was gonna say, speaking of all this, oddly enough, the person that Sphere is gonna go to is Grifter, because Grifter was not involved in any of this drama.
Did you catch
So-
him up?
Well, slightly also different reason. But what would Grifter be up to as all this is going down? Just out of curiosity.
Well, as you all approach the shooting range, which is where Grifter was, he left. So now he's gone back to carry on.
You find some things in disarray. Because, Karis tackled the crap out of Lawrence and sent him, crashing into like the countertop where a lot of the guns are. So some of the guns fell over. Some stuff are, laying down, like just scattered. But other than that, everything's fine.
So yeah, I guess I'm tidying up, cursing bloody people. Other than that, yeah.
All right. Sphere's gonna wheel in, check to make sure that no one else is really around, close the door, and just go, okay. How much of that did you catch?
Well, I'm not stupid. I heard it all.
Okay, good. Why are we a circus?
Honestly, I have a feeling there's too many feelings. I've never had any trouble like this before, ever. And I found myself in some really shitty situations, but never have I had the people trouble we have. So I can only assume it's the we're overthinking it. That's what it is. But I understand where everybody's coming from.
Yeah.
If I can ask,
Okay.
while all of it was going on, what was going through Grifter's head regarding Lawrence?
Well, Grifter was, as everybody had approaching the door, Grifter was there, he was armed, and it kicked off and Karis couldn't get there or was in any other way not available, he would have shot him.
I thought so, but I had to ask.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he cared.
Of course not. He
No,
doesn't.
no, of course not. But Grifter, just hear me out. I had a moment of thinking, well, maybe I should, help out and try and make peace, but do you think maybe we should just let this one go? Like,
Yeah, I mean, absolutely let it go as long as it doesn't come back to haunt. If we never see him again, then that's fine, right?
I'm
We let
pretty
it go.
I'm pretty sure if we let it go, there's only one way we'll ever see that one again.
Do you reckon?
Oh no. Just since everyone else saw it anyway, just holds up the card and goes, apparently this dude knows more about medicine than the alphabet can contain, and well,
What you got there?
I know most of the abbreviations on here, but there's a couple that I'm not quite sure what kind of degree that is. But basically, I think he can fix me.
Well, you should go for it.
I don't know. Like, do I need it? I'm actually doing pretty fine these days.
Well, then don't.
I don't know. Do I want to go back
You're
to what I had
overthinking
before?
it too much again.
Do I
Stop
want to
with the
go back to what I
thinking.
had before, or do I embrace what I got now?
Well, yeah, I guess.
I know you're supposed to tell me.
Well, if it was me, I'd get my legs fixed.
See, there's valuable input right there. Basically, I'm just trying to, like, should we just encourage Nico to let it go and move on, or because I think
Good luck with that.
it's gonna be a tough road, but you, me, KTP, if we work together, we can just slowly help that wound to heal and look forward to new horizons. What do you reckon? Give it a whirl?
We can certainly try and give it a whirl. I'm not. He was pretty angry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you and I, we've been on the receiving end of Nico when stubbornness ensues.
No, absolutely. I don't disagree, but it's not our wound to heal at the moment, right?
No, but we can be there to, help bandage if necessary.
Or salt, however you wish.
Will you bandage away?
I'm not good at that. I need backup.
I'll back you up.
Sweet, that's all I need.
I'll hold bandages. It's not a problem.
Fair enough. Nah, mostly I just wanted to hear if, like, see, my immediate instinct is, all right, wants to leave, let it be and move on with life. I just want to make sure I'm not being an asshole about it.
No, I don't think so.
Fair enough.
And what's wrong with being an arsehole anyway?
People tend to try and, like, stab you.
I am going to ask Grifter to make a willpower and intuition roll. I know those are your best stats.
They're not great. It could be worse, but that's a 2.
There are many things that Grifter doesn't know. There are many things that Grifter is ignorant about. There are many things that people are better at than Grifter. But if there is one thing Grifter knows better than any of the weirdos in his group, is tactics. And identifying targets, because, hey, you killed people for a living. You know for certain that from a tactical perspective, Lawrence knows so much about how everything about you works that him being out there pissed off at you is a tactical, it's a danger. And, there, from a Grifter point of view, you tell me if I'm wrong, the way to correct such an issue is take it out.
Well, yeah, you would clean such an issue. Yes.
As this conversation goes and you were thinking about the current situation and letting it go or not, you have that thought of, hey, this guy keyed off against us with everything he knows. That's a liability. I'm not saying go and kill him. I'm only saying that's what Grifter's tactical mind identifies in the situation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. I will take that on board. That is not a problem. So, are you going to get your legs fixed?
I don't know. And the fact that I got thrown into a building and that's what caused this, like, I don't know. I've never thought about whether or not this would be a part of my life before, so I don't know how to react to any of it, to be honest.
Well, look, why don't you give it a couple of days? Right. Let the dust
Yeah.
settle. Then make a phone call and see what's involved. You don't have to tell anyone, yeah.
Feels wrong not to tell anyone, you know.
Yeah, but you're not doing anything. Look, I'll tell you what, look, we'll go down there, get you, I take it you gotta have some form of, MOT before they do any work. I'll come and hold the bandages for you.
Sorry, excuse me if I'm mistaken. Is it the MOT, the car thing?
Oh, yes. Sorry, yeah.
What? But anyway, I mean, all right. I got nothing.
It's up to you.
Tell you what, I'll think about it, but for now, I just want to make sure that Nico doesn't do anything fucked up. I want to make sure that we don't get fucked up. I'm basically trying to ensure that none of this just comes back and destroys us in the end, you know?
Oh, it's bound to come back and bite us in the ass. It's going to happen.
Does it have to, though?
Yes. Because it does, and it will. But we'll deal with it.
I hate so much of this.
Now, look, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't
I'm
think
not.
you are. That's the worst part.
Play along and we'll see where it goes. But you've got an opportunity to get your legs fixed if you want that. So while that's on the table, it's worth considering.
I'll see about it. I don't know. There's just a lot of I don't knows right now. Here's what I know. Here's what I'm going to say. I don't want any harm coming to any of us, whether that's you or Nico or KTP or Karis. We've all been through a fucking ringer lately, and I'm so done with it.
Can't the Shadowrun life though, right? We
Doesn't mean I can't
are
hate
not
it.
liable to make too many friends in the line of work we do.
Maybe not. Still.
But I'm pretty sure there was dessert mentioned earlier. So that'll make up for it.
Well, we'll see what tomorrow brings. For now, I think I need fucking sleep.
I think I'm going to hang out here for a bit longer.
While this is happening, are KTP and Nico doing anything, or do we move our story to the next day and that meeting with Mr. Johnson?
Cuddle pile on the couch with Dr. Watson, Karis, KTP, and Nico.
That's a wonderful way to end an evening. Karis falls asleep almost immediately. Dr. Watson complains about people taking up his space, but ends up cuddling anyway. So we move on then.
Guess so.
What is going through Nico's mind?
Sorrow?
What is going through KTP's mind?
She is running through several plans in her head about what to do about Lawrence, because while she's going to be supportive of Nico, she knows this isn't the end of it.
I mean, we've already made this roll, but given, that KTP is far, no offense, far brighter than Grifter and knows all of Lawrence's capabilities, I think you have kind of like the same feeling that if Lawrence decides to, come after you, he is a tremendous danger. What I'll give you, just you, is that if right now is not an issue, the moment Malcolm dies, it's going to be a problem. Those thoughts accompany you into the dream world. And we move our story to the next day. Are Grifter and Nico heading to that meeting?
Oh yes.
Nico, I won't make you roll. We'll assume you are invisible.
Do you need? Well, I still need to roll for hits and drain.
No. We're gonna. This is not a situation where there would be a risk for you in anything, so we don't need to roll for that. We're gonna just assume that you are there.
Okay. And she's using greater invisibility, so cameras and electronics won't pick her up.
You head into the hotel, and there is almost like a dinner area, and there is a man in a nondescript suit, sitting at a table. Every other table around them is empty. They all have little cards say reserved. And as soon as you arrive, he waves you towards him. Hello. I have been. Your name is Grifter. Am I correct?
That is correct.
So I was told that you have questions regarding this task for my employer.
Just a couple. Just to clear some things up before I make a decision for, me and my team make a decision.
Very well.
So the person that would be protecting is going to be in town for a couple of days. We're assuming it's just going to be a shadowing round at the events that he goes to.
Yes, the events will take place in the building. There will be security at the location, but we feel some extra firepower might be needed.
And what are you expecting?
My employer has both many fans and many enemies, and they are due to present a piece of technology. So we wish to protect them and the knowledge and the prototype they carry. And so, it's never enough security. We're worried someone might try to interfere during the event.
Okay. And would we be sort of not undercover, but in the crowd, or are we to be
likely visible? However you're being hired as experts. That will be your choice. You could be in the vicinity during the presentation, doing rounds around the building, however you prefer.
Okay. One last question.
Yes.
Who is it?
I cannot provide you that information unless you agree to the task. You understand that if you are not committed and under contract for this operation. If I give you the name, it could be a risk of security.
Okay. I guess that's all we need to ask right now. How long have we got to get back to you?
The event is happening early next week, so if you could provide your response in the next day or two, that would allow us to organize things and make alternative plans if necessary.
Okay, we'll get back to you in a day or two.
Very well.
Do we find you here, or should we just go through the...
To the channels you've been using so far.
Yep. Okay, that's not a problem. Right, thanks for meeting with us. And I'll be in touch soon.
Uh-huh. Does the team take this job?
Nico is going to, as soon as they're free and clear, she's going to reach out to KTP and say, check for an event that's happening within at the beginning of next week involving somebody presenting a prototype of technology, and see what's out there. Because if this is happening, it's going to be somebody's made is scheduling an announcement somewhere. This doesn't pop up. A corporation or somebody is going to put, there's already some type of anticipation for this. So she's going to ask KTP to see what she can find out. That might give us an idea of who we're supposed to be protecting before we accept.
KP, you can make that roll. We'll make
And
it.
I will donate edge if you'd like.
That'll be intuition and electronics.
You're all
Do
right.
you want some edge for that?
Sorry, I'll spend all my 4 and we'll do some exploding
Okay.
stuff.
I will tell you straight away, the only way you'll find this information is like deep net, hardcore security stuff. So the difficulty for this will be 6.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
You've rolled already like 7, 8 the seasons. This
No, it'd
section,
be
so
1.
At least you get to add your dice pool to it as well.
Okay.
Your edge pool.
That's not too sad.
That's not too bad.
Six. On
So
the
we got a
nose.
5 and then 1, 2 6s to reroll, and one of the 6s on the reroll was a 5.
Nice.
you scour the net, the matrix, looking for announcements. There's any number of stuff. What you find in the deepest corners of the internet is that on Monday at a theater, there's gonna be a meeting of the higher echelons of the military and members of the government, where military contractors and arms manufacturers, not the usual names, so no, according to the information, it's more like indie, like not mega corporation level, more like independent engineers and arms manufacturers will be presenting items for government contracts. But no names regarding the people doing the actual presentations. It's hard enough that it's well enough that you found, which theater in London, and the names of some military and some some members of the government. The prime minister will be there.
So she's gonna just give that information to Nico right now.
I assume now, At least we're not working for Blondie or somebody like that. The the Connells.
Yeah, there's no Aris macro-technology involved.
Yeah, that was my big worry, is that we were going to be asked to protect somebody that we've gone up against, or we've not. That we've already dealt with. So, I mean, I'm okay with this based on what we know. What's your gut feeling on this from what you're saying?
Government, military, and independent arms manufacturers. Yeah, not good.
But they're not megacorp.
True.
These are small potatoes.
But
Smaller potatoes.
In your society, local government and even local military is small potatoes versus, say, a mega corporation.
I mean, there are no companies in this. Come on. But
I'm not saying that we shouldn't do the contract. I'm just saying that this is some shady shit.
yeah, it's always shitty shit. But I mean, it sounds like Grifter needs this piece of tech that he's trying to get.
KTP laughs and says, when does Grifter not need a new piece of tech?
When do I not need more magic?
I think, like, KTP is wary, but she's also aware that there was a recent conversation about everyone trusting Grifter more. So in a way, she's kind of she's on the fence, so she's kind of going to stay out of it. She will do whatever the team decides to do, but she's going to be proper on guard.
Okay, so I will ask just straight up, because we'll be, to let everyone know, we're ending our game a little bit earlier today. So to keep things moving, this time I will ask directly.
Show of hands.
Grifter, do you agree to take this job?
Hi.
Nico, do you agree to take the job?
Yeah.
Sphere, do you agree to take the job?
Yes, with ulterior motives.
Great. KTP, you have already said you'll go with the team.
The eyes have it.
Yeah, the eyes have it. The cyber eyes have it. And with that, do you return? You give the reply then?
Yeah.
Okay, you are invited to a follow-up meeting, but a contract is sent along for you all to sign digitally. It's the usual work. Usually you don't really much get work contracts because you're usually disposable ops. In this situation, you are given basically essentially an NDA. Though it's an NDA for Shadowrunners, where instead of "we'll sue you," it's "we'll kill you." Or in this case, it'll be deducted from your pay if anything goes out, and further or other liabilities.
His response to "we'll kill you" is always get in line.
Yeah, pretty much. So you are also given the name of your VIP. It is an independent arms manufacturer and engineer. Their pronouns are they, them. Race elf, metahuman, subtype is elf. And their name is Jericho Dolce Ricotta.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. Jericho Dolce, so like Dolce Gabbana. Ricotta, like the cheese. Jericho Dolce Ricotta.
It just sounds like a cheese brand to me now.
So he's rich.
Sweet
Cheeks.
ricotta.
Okay, his new nickname is now Sweet Cheeks.
You find, and I'll start to tell you, you find no information on them. Like you find mentions of the name, but no photos. And as before we end our session, we leave this scene with our characters and move away to another part of London where Miranda is sitting in front of a computer, turning it on, and multiple screens light up. And on every screen is a face. And there is a man there with a scar across his eye, shaved sides, and like dreadlocks that go over his like shoulder and just spilling over his chest, going, "So what's up? You mentioned you found Brent? So we're adding him to the dream team? No, we're gonna kill him." And that's where we end our session. No, fool, we're gonna kill him.
Well,
Simba too.
I can say death threat to Grifter must be a day ending in Y.
Bring it on.
Yeah, it's Jericho Dolce Ricotta.
Get in line.
I will say the name is partially inspired by a character that Megan Murphy Pop Art played in another game.
Oh God. Of course.
And
it wasn't Rico Dolce Ricotta.
No. So we'll be back next week, hopefully, and continue with our story. And you'll be protecting Dolce, or likely will maybe going to a haunting and get rid of it.
Hey, you know, one or the other.
For this session, I will give you all 5 karma. 5 karma and new enemies. Because you can never have enough.
Can we trade enemies for karma?
No,
Like, what's
not
the
yet. But
conversion?
I mean, if you kill them, yes.
Ooh.
Though I think if Lawrence's threat is resolved by double tap, there maybe need to have some discussions among the group. Before we go, we'll quickly go around the room again, and everyone can tell you who they are, who they were playing, and where you can find in the dark corners of the internet. So, Pete.
Pete is my name. I play Grifter. Someone who is now in a lot of trouble by the seams of things, but we thrive in trouble. So that's good. There's some good pew-pew. You won't find me anywhere on the internet because, except here. That's it. Exclusive.
Okay. Kim.
Oh dear. So I'm Kim. I played KTP, the Technomancer, who tries to keep Grifter in line, but is clearly not succeeding. But hey, I think we're due for some new enemies and some trouble, right?
Can never have too many enemies.
So yeah, you can find me online at later levels.
Okay. Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm a cleric of Cord. Sometimes I tweet, but very rarely. Mostly I just lurk in various Discord servers and people's streams. And I do have something new coming up for a change starting on the 21st of September, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, way late at night for you UK folks. I will be joining a Monster of the Week game, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse game. On Valdriant's channel. There will be tweets, so keep your eye out open for that. I will be playing a part demon who drives a 67 Chevy Impala black.
That sounds familiar somehow.
Yeah.
Little.
And the business card says human monster relations and mediation.
I like that.
Nice.
I
So
promise. I
come join us.
can
It's
at
gonna be
least promise you that next session I will endeavor to hurt you just a little bit more.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, if you're into True Blood vibes and supernatural and all that kind of stuff, you'll really enjoy this. It's going to be in an 18+ stream, so just be aware of that if that's
Awesome.
a thing.
Also, 11 p.m. late. Do you know who you're talking to?
On a Wednesday night?
You know who you're talking to?
Okay, fair. We would love to see you. If you can't join us live, then you can always catch the episodes on YouTube, usually going up a week later.
Okay. And man.
Well, I don't have anything as exciting as a 67 Chevy Impala going on, but my name is Diane. I stream here, both for Shadowrun.
Can you say that again, please?
Here.
Okay, thank you.
You recorded that, didn't you?
It's live on Twitch. I don't need to record it.
Ah, shit, you're right. Anyway, yes, I happen to be here, being Sphere, and now that my life is slightly back on track and my head is not in a bajillion different places, maybe I can be a vampire again as well, because that's kind of fun, and I enjoy being my little vampire, because I want to get my fangs into that a lot more. I nearly said teeth, but I corrected myself at the last minute. And when I'm not being a vampire, I have players who stake vampires over on my channel.
Nice segue.
Yeah, nice there. So we will be back this Sunday. We've taken a brief time off, but in what I realize is now, depending on your opinion, either very well-timed or very ill-timed, where the party is preventing the coronation of a monarch. So, you know.
We'll call that auspicious.
We'll call it relevant.
Yeah.
Serendipity?
I mean, how many times can you be relevant with a fantasy game?
Yeah, I know, right? That's just fantasy. It has no bearing on their life ever. But yeah, that's the Sunday. And
I wish you could tell it to half of Twitter.
Oh, Jesus, please. Do not get me started, because I know what you're referring to, and I'm nope. Anyway, let's just say that a lot of people who claim to be true fans have no fucking clue what they're on about, and that's all I'll say about the matter. But yeah, when Brinkwood isn't on, I also have gotten back into playing video games, where I'm moving away from Soulsborne to the unlikely avenue of fishing simulators.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I didn't expect it either.
I mean, if you fail to catch a fish, do you lose all the other fish in a true Soulsborne fashion?
Oh yeah, and then I have to catch the next fish, or else they're gone forever.
I mean, yeah, that's what I would expect.
Yeah. No, it's just you fish until you drop, and then when you drop, you either, I don't know. I was going somewhere with this, but
okay.
Yeah. I got Fishing Simulator as a joke, and then it turns out it's actually fun. So,
I mean, I'm not gonna knock it because it sounds interesting. The only thing I will say before we go is that tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 a.m. for me, I'll be running a 10 candles one shot, raising funds for the National Network of Abortion Funds. It's once again 10 candles as a slasher movie. This time our dumb teens will be trapped in an island. Because that's what that's what we're there for, to watch dumb teens get killed.
So you're playing Lost?
I'm playing I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay.
I think the second one or something. I'll try to be better than that movie. With that said, I think that is everything from us today. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. We hope you had a good time. And we will see you next time. Bye.